consequences and the backlash, or the negatives and the positives of going viral for a certain style of content in a certain country?
People, I mean, I've had serious amounts of death threats, insane amount of death threats, just for street food. I mean, a lot of people see it as disrespectful for like me joking around with the street food and not eating it. And you better leave tonight, otherwise we're coming to kill you. I've set a bounty on you. That was one yesterday. Apparently I've got a hit on my head in Bangladesh because I was giving street food out to homeless people.
Did you ever get ill?
I actually never ate it, believe it or not. This is the first time I actually said this.
Really?
I actually used to
do you know what?
try
I'm
it.
a smart guy for that, because if they're doing that shit, exactly what you've just explained there is the sole purpose why I have a social media manager. Just to disconnect from it.
As I said, I've had 1 billion views this year. 1 billion views. It's a lot of views from February until October. 1 billion. It's a lot. So
February to October.
Yeah. I think it started to actually affect my real life connections, which is really scary because I didn't want to go out and meet. Like the thought of going out to meet people and getting out of bed and going to do something was more hard of a task than sitting alone in my room just scrolling.
I want you to blind rank these countries that you visited, 1 to 10, but you can't know what's coming next.
Okay.
Yes, now my people, welcome back to another episode of the Physique Podcast. And today I'm joined with a good friend and a very special guest, Mr. Jude Rusga.
Hello.
Internet viral sensation for many things. Welcome to the podcast, my friend. How are you doing?
Thank you, brother. I'm very good. How are you?
How's it like to be back in Bali?
Feels good.
Yeah?
Feels good. It's like a second home.
Second home. UK being the first home.
I don't know if the UK is a first home, to be honest with you, but I don't think I've got a first home, but Bali is definitely second or third home.
How much time do you reckon you've actually spent between the UK and all the other countries in the last 12 months?
I only go back to the UK to see my family. That is it. And like the odd thing, like bring a suitcase back or collect a suitcase and whatever. So if I'm back for no longer than a week. This year I've been back twice. Last year once. The year before I didn't go back at all. And yeah, if my family wasn't in the UK, I would never go back there, ever. No
when did you start traveling?
I started traveling very frequently back in 2022. I was working a job and I would just do like 2 to 3 trips a month, like going to Europe, back and forth, until I was like, why am I spending all this money working a job to just go away for the weekend when I could try and figure it out and go abroad? So in 2023, I made the decision to go to Australia on a working holiday visa to try and basically do like the social media travel type stuff while still having the ability to be able to get a job and like whatever, because on that working holiday visa, if you need to, you can get a job working in a supermarket or a gym or whatever while trying to figure out what you're doing online.
100%. Feels kind of like the tourist visa here. You get a bit of a time to like sort your shit out.
Yeah, the only benefit with the Australian one is you can work. So if you get to a pickle where you spent all your money, you can just work a normal job. Same as in the UK, you can work a normal job, but you're in the UK. If you're in Australia, it feels new, it feels good, it feels like you can travel and like get an experience of traveling while having a little bit of a safety net that, oh, if I run out of money, I can get a job because I'm legally on this working visa.
100%.
So,
yeah, it's a lot more flexibility, whereas here you've got to buy a certain visa to work here.
Mm-hmm. And you also need to have a digital product or work online to be able to work here.
100%.
And a lot of people who want to travel and want to be like a digital nomad or whatever aren't doing that yet. They want to do it, but they haven't figured out what they want to do online. A lot of people see these traders or these e-com people or whoever it may be getting paid through TikTok, YouTube, and think, I want to do this, but I'm not getting paid yet. So there's a transition period when you come to, say, Bali or Thailand, where you're trying to make it work, but you're not actually making money online yet. So, you kind of have to be making money or figure out how to make money while you're here, but you're just using savings until that happens.
Because you had that with the videography. Was that your situation with the videography work that we did? Was that kind of like making ends meet, giving you a bit of cash?
I always wanted to do the social media. That was my end goal. That was what I wanted to do. But I do have a passion for videography and photography. And I did it like for myself for a while, like just making my own little short films and doing photography. And then I realized that I could have it as my own business. So in the UK, I started to do it for other clients, like in the gym and like restaurants and whatever. And then when I went to Australia, I did a little bit there. And then when I came back over to Bali in 2024, after like doing 6 months of like traveling and whatever, I was like, right, you know what? I'm just going to try and do this photography thing. And we just, obviously spoke to you, spoke to a few of my other friends and said, look, I can do photography, I can do videography. Let's work together. I can provide value for you. I'm a good photographer, I'm a good videographer. It can work out. And then I managed to build up a little bit of a client base in Bali. But the problem I had was, if I ever want to go traveling again, I'm going to lose it all because it's not online. You're building your business in one area again. So when I left the UK, had no work because my photography, all my clients were back in the UK, went to Australia, had a few there, left Australia, lose it again. And then you get back to Bali, you build it again. And it's like, now I've got none. If I want to go to Thailand, well, I've got no work in Thailand because everybody I know and everyone who's, a client is going to be in Bali. So that's when I thought, I'm going to have to try and change this up.
Do you remember that fucking tanning stuff that you were meant to shoot in Thailand? What happened with that?
Yeah. The old tanning
Did you do it
product. No, I didn't.
I didn't. My missus actually ended up using it.
Was it any good?
Fuck knows, bro.
No, shameless plugs for the guy.
Yeah, she.
I'm not giving any free game here, but.
It was left over, wasn't it? And she was like, fuck it.
There was like 8 tubs. There was so many tubs. Yeah.
Some of it away, to be fair.
I don't blame you. But, I mean, the story with that was like, at the time, obviously I was pretty much going like paycheck to paycheck, kind of living in Bali, because I started to make some money, but I also liked the lifestyle of Bali, and it can add up pretty quickly if you've got a motorbike and you want a nice place and all of this stuff. You're eating out every single day. So I was making an okay bit of money, but I was also just spending that every single month. And then a friend recommended me him, and he comes to me. We agreed all this plan. I flew to Thailand to go and get the stuff. I come up with the whole plan, the whole shoot, trying to arrange models to do this shoot. And it was like a $4,000 shoot. And at the time, I was obviously paycheck to paycheck. I was like, yes, I'm spending like $1,500, $2,000 a month. Like, that's like 2 months worth of work. Like, hell yeah, let's do this. So we agreed to do it. And then he had some mega problems in the UK. He ended up getting arrested for all sorts of reasons. I'm not going to go into all that. But yeah, he didn't come back to me for like a month. And I'm there like, I was kind of waiting on this paycheck, like to do this work. I don't know where my money's coming from now. Like, this is not really good. And funny enough, he ended up messaging me. So that was October, November that happened. Yeah. He messaged me in March 2025. And in February, I obviously had all of my social media start to skyrocket. So when he messaged me like, bro, I'm ready to do this shoot. Like, let's do this. I was like, I don't do that no more, bro. I don't do that.
I remember asking you, and you were like, do you know what, bro? I'll do bits and bobs, but it's not.
Yeah. I'll still do it for like close friends. Like, I'd still do it for you and whatever. But I don't need to do it for anybody else. It's not my main source of income anymore. And like what I'm doing now is not way less work, but it's such a different type of work, and it's what I would rather do than doing all this work for somebody else, if that makes sense.
100%. Your freedom, bro.
Yeah.
It's freedom.
Exactly.
But what kind of styles of content do you actually prefer making? Because when I met you, you were doing a lot of TikTok stuff, right?
Yeah.
So how's that developed since then?
So I like all sorts of content. Like, I love YouTube, but the issue I have with YouTube is I like it making long form videos with my friends, doing traveling and whatever. I don't like doing it solo, but everybody's busy. So if you actually want to be doing things consistently, it gets to a point where you need to be on your own. You need to do things consistently. So YouTube is good, but I don't like doing it solo. I like doing it with my friends. So I ended up making it for the sake of making it, as I was like seeing it as a job and whatever, and ended up hating it. Same as TikTok. You can kind of do it alone and it's quite easy, but it's kind of the same thing. Everybody's doing it online. You go to Thailand, how many 7-Eleven videos like can you do? And I'm going to try this thing, and like it kind of becomes the same thing. It's okay here and there, but if you're doing that every single day, there's no like substance to it. It's just, you're just trying different things. And then I started making kind of not unique, but more unique travel stuff. So I'd go to random places, and instead of just doing like, oh, I'm trying this, I'd put like a cool caption on the front of it and then start making sort of content like that. In Pakistan, I went there in April, and then I went there again in like June, I think it was, and a lot of my videos were like in the mountains, on horses, whatever. And instead of just filming I'm on a horse doing this, I'd put like a cool caption, I'd have music playing, and it'd be different. I enjoyed doing that a little bit more. And then obviously the street food stuff, which we'll go on to, that was crazy, bro. That kind of changed everything, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was good. But that I'd never thought I'd make like street food content, but I saw a few guys doing it and I thought, this was quite good. But I see one guy is getting way more views than the other person who's doing it. I worked out why, and I was like, well, I'm just going to try this. And me and my friend both had the idea to go over and try and make this street food content, and it worked out very well.
What was the video that kind of set everything in motion with the street food content?
Believe it or not, it was the second one I ever did.
Yeah.
So the first one I ever did was in Thailand. A guy was selling ice cream, and I practiced saying like, "Hey, what is this man selling?" And then when I went to India, the very first video was just, I don't even know. It was just, you've seen street food content. Any street food content in India is just like very unhygienic. It's very chaotic. It's very different. Like you don't ever see that in the UK. You might see street food in Thailand, Indonesia, but it's not like
it's very like, it's almost ingrained in the culture there.
Yeah, but it's just very like shocking. Like if you're not from India and you don't know the street food, you look at it and it's like,
what the fuck
this is so dirty, this is unhygienic. Like no one's like using gloves, but they also clearly have like dirty hands and whatever. It's like just very disgusting looking dishes in a non-disrespectful way. But it is. And you know, someone who comes from like a Western country like the UK, you see it and it's like, what am I going to eat this? Am I going to get like sick from this and whatever? And a lot of them, the way they make it as well is just super, super interesting. Like you'll get like these weird biscuits. They'll pick the biscuits up, crush it in their bare hands, use their hand to scoop some other stuff, like mix it all together and then just present it to you. And all for the grand price of like 5-10 pence. And you're like, wow.
Did you ever get ill doing that?
I actually never ate it, believe it or not. This is the first time I actually said this.
Really?
Yeah, so I used to. I actually used to
do you know what,
try
You're
it.
a smart guy for that, because if they're doing that shit.
Yeah. I used to try it and then, like, obviously chew it a bit and off camera just spit it out. A few people clocked onto what I was doing, but a lot of people didn't. But, like, my friend ended up with a parasite. I don't want to end up with a parasite. I don't want tapeworm. I don't want any of these, like, nasty diseases. I've had like traveler's diarrhea so many times from just normal countries, let alone a place which is actually unhygienic. I'd probably end up in the ER. So I wasn't taking any risks. I would try some of it. And to be honest with you, credit where credit is due, some of it tasted good. Like some of the most diabolical street foods that you find actually taste good. Like they're full of flavor. They've got spices. They are good. They're just not hygienic whatsoever. Others taste disgusting. Like actually taste disgusting. I know it's like culturally nice and whatever, but there's like things like buttermilk, for example. It's just sour milk. If you had milk that was sour, you'd assume it's gone off.
Yeah.
Same as me. So I try it. Oh my God, it's sour. I spit it out. And then, yeah, people don't like that too much, but it's sour milk.
So what happened when people watched you do that? Were there like crowds forming around you to say what you did?
In real life, no. I've never, ever had a problem in real life. Take it to the internet, you get called racist for not eating the food or for giving it to homeless people or whatever. People say you're racist for not trying the food. I've had serious amounts of death threats, like insane amount of death threats.
For just spitting out
for just street food. I mean, a lot of people see it as disrespectful for like me, joking around with the street food and not eating it, and like me not eating it is a sign of it being unhygienic, which one, it is, but two, they just see it as disrespect. But UK banter is kind of in a jokey nature, if your mate cooked something and looked bad, you just ridicule him. You just dig into him about how bad his food looks. So if you take that to a country where I guess they pride themselves maybe in the street food or whatever, I'm not sure. A lot of people get very, very offended and end up.
What type of people are we talking? Are we talking people from the country?
We're talking locals, and I think maybe like ancestral people. So people who have like backgrounds from say India or like,
so like people who are like UK but Indian heritage.
Yeah. Because a lot of my like the people who like comment won't necessarily be from India. Like in TikTok is banned in India. On the YouTube it's different, but you'll get a lot of English people commenting on my posts, or like Americans or Australians, whoever, being like, "This is so rude and disrespectful." Whereas you get the other flip people who are, "This is so funny, you're winding them up, like whatever." But as I said, I never, ever, ever had a problem in real life, ever. It was only online when people see it, but I don't know. I think that's the way the internet works, No one really has a problem in real life. Everyone's like, oh, it's what it is. You're only joking around. And when it gets to the internet, everyone's hiding behind their keyboards. And it's like, you're racist, you're this, you're that. We're going to find your family. You better leave tonight, otherwise we're coming to kill you. I've set a bounty on you. That was one yesterday.
Bounty.
Apparently, I've got a hit on my head in Bangladesh because I was giving street food out to homeless people, and that's extremely disrespectful. And I should eat the food myself.
What do you feel when you read those comments? Because I've had my fair share of shit from social media, and it depends on the day and how I'm feeling with how I take it. So how do you generally like take those comments and criticisms?
So I think there's two ways to deal with it, but I think one of them is subconsciously you reading these negative comments actually does affect you. Like, you might not care. You might think it's social media. It doesn't matter. You put on a tough face. But if you keep reading these comments and they're negative over and over and over again, subconsciously it will start to affect you. Because when it first happened, I'd read the negative comments, right? One thing I'll say is with social media, if you want any sort of success, you're going to have to take the negativity no matter what you do. If it's in the gym and you get big, you're not natural. If it's, you get big in the gym, it's, as someone who's on roids, oh, you're on roids, it doesn't matter, it doesn't count. Social media, it's like, oh, you can only travel because your parents are rich, or if like whatever it may be, someone's always got what?
Do people say that?
Yeah, on my comments all the time.
And like, they wouldn't even know.
No, of course not. But I can't go down and reply to every single comment. Sometimes I will and just say like, no, like I could share my story of like how many jobs I've worked and like gone broke and had to go back home and fly out again. Like, I can say all this, but you'll get the next person who comments, and you can't reply to every single person online. So yeah, you have to kind of just take the hate and just go, is what it is. But if you keep reading this hate, it's just going to start to negatively affect you subconsciously. Like, you can't filter out absolutely everything you read, which is, not ideal, but yeah, you can either read all of them and just think it is what it is, or what I'm starting to do now is kind of not even look at the comments. But that's bad because you get a lot of good comments in there. You get a lot of DMs from people saying like, you're very inspirational. You've like helped me change my life. Like, I now want to go travel. I've got the like confidence to go and be able to do this. Like, can you help me? Whatever. So you can't really filter between the very negative people who are like sending you death threats and being horrible and like saying all these bad things versus the good people who you are actually inspiring, or you are making them laugh, or whatever. So it's really hard to balance them. I at the moment I read them and I just deal with like letting it affect my subconscious, because it does. I notice when like my mood starts to go down and I'm like constantly reading new comments of like this and that and that, but it's part of the game, I guess.
Exactly what you've just explained there is the sole purpose why I have a social media manager now.
Yeah, really.
Just to disconnect from it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, my process behind content creation is still very much my process. But when it's posted and when you go viral for certain things and people hate on you, and it happens, right?
Yeah.
I let somebody else deal with all that now, personally.
Do they reply to it as well?
If they want to, I give the jurisdiction to Jelena, and I say, if you want to reply, you can reply.
Yeah.
But we just have a laugh about certain comments here and there, but I don't expose myself to the comment sections very often at all because of that.
Yeah.
Because I've been there, bro, and I don't really need it. I just don't. Do you know what I mean? I make content for a reason, and that's to impact men in particular. Now, if somebody isn't okay with that and somebody wants to voice their concerns with me over message, ring me on the fucking phone, DM me, whatever, right? What's the point doing it over a comment, right? Do you get what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I don't really put any weight behind comments on posts because they're flash in the pan, reactive emotions from people. If anyone wants to have a conversation with me, I'm more than happy to have a conversation and say, right, this and this, this and that, right? But they never happen. So I just said, you know what? I'll bring somebody else in to help me with the posting, to help me with the analytics side of things, because we still track it, but you're obviously doing that all yourself.
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to go on the posts, you have to see certain things, and you have to interact.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where the solution there is to bring somebody else in who isn't you, because they'll look at it completely differently.
Yeah.
It's not them.
Yeah.
It's not aimed at them. Yes, they have access to your account, but it's not aimed at them. So they'll be replying probably something very similar to what you'd reply, but with a completely different viewpoint and perspective. And then you have a little laugh about it here and there, but it's the volume, isn't it? It's more the volume. Like, when you've got a couple of posts that go viral, you open yourself up to everyone's opinions. And that's one thing I actually wanted to ask you, and I'll touch upon it now, is the consequences and the backlash, or the negatives and the positives of going viral for a certain style of content in a certain country. How do you feel like that impacts your overall engagement as a content creator?
That is a very good question. But a lot of people actually don't realize, and it's a very big trap, because especially when you're first starting, any sort of traction, any sort of like monumental success that you get. If you go from getting 500 likes to then every single post you're getting 5 to 10,000 to 20,000 every single post, you start to believe like, oh, I've made it. Oh my God, this is the right path. I'm doing this. And sure, if you're doing something that's based in, say, UK or based in America or wherever your country may be, sure, it's going to be pretty beneficial and pretty good. You are on the right path. However, in the travel industry, it's a little bit different. And I guess if you're doing, say, fitness, but you're based in, say, Indonesia or like another country, if you get a lot of comments and a lot of interaction from that country, you start to run into a big issue later on. And that is when you leave the country. So, for example, my YouTube account, I've got 2, but one of them actually started to get affected by a country that I actually really love. It's quite a country that no one would really like think about, but that is Pakistan. Pakistan is one of my favorite countries I've ever been to. It is absolutely beautiful. The people there are the best. The hospitality is just insane, but the mountains up the north is like some of the best views I've ever seen in my life. And it's such a beautiful country. So when I was there, I was in my absolute element. I was taking pictures every single day, doing all these videos, these cool reels that I was talking about, and just constantly making content. And every single content that I was putting out was banging. Like every post was between 5 to 20k likes. YouTube videos at the time before that was getting, a couple thousand. Every video I was posting was getting between 20 to 70,000. Some getting like 200 to 400,000 views on YouTube as well. And I'm like, yes, it's working. The problem is when you leave that country, if you get a big influx of, say, Pakistani followers, the issue is when you leave that country and then go to the next one, because these, say, Pakistan, for example, are on the account and they're very, very fresh, they're going to be your most active followers. The next country you go to, if it's a big jump, say, for me, it was Pakistan to Peru, I think, or Mexico was the next place I was making YouTube videos. What happens is the Pakistan audience see the videos first. So, YouTube puts a video up, it's 100, it goes out to like 100 people first. That's how the algorithm works. It goes to 100 people, then out of them 100 people, it sees how many people have viewed the video, clicked on it, watched it, whatever. If it's a good response, it'll send it out to like another 100 per 100 person, and then it can snowball. That's how a video goes viral. If the first 100 people that YouTube or whatever platform sends the content out to don't like it, don't watch it, don't even click on it. For example, if it's a Pakistan audience and it's now talking about Peru, most of them don't really care. They only followed you for Pakistan and your Pakistan series. So they see a Peru video and they go, I'm not going to watch that. So then YouTube doesn't think, oh, they're from Pakistan, these are from Peru, let's just send it out to Peruvian people. It thinks 100 users out of 100 users didn't click on this video. That must mean it's not a good video. And then the video dies. It doesn't get pushed out. Unless you have a really core, solid audience, say from the UK or whatever country you're from, who are definitely going to watch this video. And then you might get 50% of people from the last country you went to, don't click it, but your 50% core audience will watch this video. It still has a chance to go out there. It can still go the other way and still flop, but you've got more of a chance of it going out there. So it's a pretty dangerous thing, especially in the travel industry, when
That's fascinating.
you go, to a certain audience and you're there for a long time and you start building up an audience in another country. Because when you leave, it's a big problem that if they don't like you for you, they like you for the country, you can lose all of them. And it can happen in any single country. It can happen even in America, where the RPM will be at its highest. You might have really good success in America, then when you go to any other country, sure, you might have made really good money because the RPM was high. You might have, had this American audience. You think, wow, I've got the highest audience, but they're not interested in you. They're interested in their country. Yeah. So it can be, at a low RPM, whether advertising value isn't as high, or it can be on the flip where you go to a really high paying country, which could arguably be more dangerous, and then whatever. So yeah, it's important to keep in mind that you want to have people following you for you, which kind of goes on to the virality or whatever. If you pop off of a viral video, it can kind of be devastating. And
do you know what I will add to that? Yeah, I had a video about me moving to Thailand go viral, 700,000 views. To this day, people still think I live in Thailand.
Yeah.
And this whole time I've been in Bali, bro.
Well, for
that's
years.
The level of influence that one video has. Because so many people go, oh, how's Thailand? I'm like, where did you get this from? Like, where could you possibly think that I live in Thailand, apart from the small 2 months last year that I spent in Thailand? Do you get what I'm saying? I bet you get that a lot though, don't you?
Yeah or no, but I also traveled quite a lot to many like countries in a small amount of time, but no one really knew where I was. People would say, like, my most like frequent question I got was, "Where are you now?" Because I'd be posting, say, Mexico one week, Peru the next week. Then I was in Indonesia. It's like, hold on a minute, where are you? Like, you're just bouncing from this place to this place to this place. Even last year, like 2024, I flew from UK to Vietnam to Thailand to Brazil to Miami to Sydney to Bali in the space of a month. I was just going here.
What's your process behind that? So you say you jump from country to country to country.
Yeah.
Is there like a process that you have that you follow?
Nah, I just want to go to certain countries and I just feel, I'm rather inspired by some content that I've seen here recently. I'm just going to book a flight here. I wouldn't recommend it because it's not the most, financially thing to do.
Financially smart.
Beneficial. Yeah, smart, whatever.
Financially literate.
Yeah. It just doesn't financially make sense, basically. Okay. You spend a lot of money that doesn't need to be spent just because you want to fly from Thailand to Brazil. But, I mean, if I want to go, then I want to go. And I guess, like, now, especially when you're solo traveling too, you haven't got anything holding you back. No. You go there and it's like, right, well, I technically can make the money back. If I stay here and I make good content and I feel inspired to make this good content, well, I can make this money back. So
that's the motivation. So you touched upon like being inspired by a piece of content. So is that the initial motivation? You go from one country to another and then you go, right, okay, to make this trip worthwhile, I need to do X, Y, Z. Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, when I went to, as an example, from Thailand to Brazil, I was seeing a lot of content coming up being like, the Brazil promo team this year is doing a great job. It looks so good. It was just like videos from Carnival, which was in like February time, January, February, whatever. I went in August, but I was just seeing these videos resurface on the internet and all these parties and the Brazilian funk music and all of this. And I thought, saw the favela videos. I thought, this looks cool to go. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go there. And all I need is a couple of videos in a favela or doing something in the beach or whatever to pop off and I can make the money back. A lot of the time I didn't make the money back. And this year I've made a lot of, not mistakes, but I've spent a lot of money traveling to countries to do the YouTube and it hasn't paid off. Like a lot of time. I've pretty much reinvested every bit of money I've made from say Instagram or TikTok into my YouTube to like travel or make these YouTube videos. And I didn't make much money off of YouTube. Like I've made a little bit, but not enough to be living and certainly not enough to be flying to 4 or 5 different countries like every single month. So yeah, but I wanted YouTube to work. I wanted YouTube to be like the thing that I was doing and it wasn't. And I did it for a few months and realized I'm spending a lot of money investing into this YouTube channel, which I don't think is a bad thing. I've got experience. I've got to see a lot of the world and, the YouTube videos are still there forever. It's like, I've learned a lot of things through doing it, but yeah, I've changed my mindset a little bit of don't just throw money at something that isn't making money because you're hoping it'll make money. Be a little bit more smarter, or if something is making you money, double down on it and, stay in that for a little bit rather than make money one way and go, let's put it into something else to not make money or potentially make more money.
What would you say to anyone who's listening now as a content creator like yourself and wants to travel? What are the 3 main learnings that you've had over the last 2 years that you would say, right, you need to do this instead of what I did?
I mean, there's so many factors when it comes down to content. The biggest one is obviously knowing what type of content you want to do, right? Like everybody sees people online doing content. There's a lot of people who make content and they have, the Lamborghinis, they're living in Miami, Dubai, they're living in Bali, no matter where it may be. Some people do TikTok, some people do trading, some people do e-com. And a lot of people see this and they just try and do anything without no real direction. So have an idea of what you actually want to do. Like, do you want to travel and see the world? Do you want to have an online business? Do you not really care, but you think it looks cool, like stunting online to everybody back home? Like, what deep down do you really want to do? Figure that out, first of all. And then the only advice I'd give is honestly, find people that you actually want to be like, and you have to work backwards. So see what they're doing, but don't see what they're doing now, because someone with 1 million followers will post.
See what they were doing when they had 10,000.
Exactly. Yeah. Someone with 1 million followers will like post a selfie and they'll get 50,000 likes. And it's like, wow, this is cool. I can just post a selfie. No, you can't, because you haven't done the 5-6 years that they've done. Go back to the very beginning days where they're making YouTube videos in their bedroom or, using an iPhone camera to just do these videos before they had the fancy gear, before they were doing the basic stuff. Like go back to what they were doing when they were on their grind and then copy that. But you also need to be smart, because what happened or what was working 5-6 years ago isn't happening now.
You've got to cherry pick, haven't you?
Yeah.
A very person that correlates to what you've just said there in my industry is James Smith. People see him now.
Yeah.
He's making high-end content, but what built his following was calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
Sat in his desk or sat in a gym, chatting shit and making fun of people, saying that it's not calories in versus calories out. That you don't see any of that content from him anymore, and people sign up to his mentoring thinking, he knows everything. He probably does know everything because he got to the point where he is now, but what he's teaching you and what he's doing now are two different things.
Yeah.
And you gotta cut through that noise of going like, okay, what's the actual real value here? Especially when you take inspiration from people. And that's how I view content, bro. You've got the hook, you've got the storytelling, you've got the level of impact, and you've got the call to action, right? Each of those is its own recipe and process. So let's say you do a piece of content, you want to have at least 4 or 5 hooks. We're talking short form here, by the way.
Yeah.
Then you've got to tell a story. You have a couple of those per video, and then you have a couple of call to actions. And then you just trial and split test and see which one does well. And then you follow the clues, something that by the sounds of it, you didn't do for long enough. You didn't follow the clues of going, right, this, and this is doing well. All right, I'm not going to jet off to Brazil. I'm going to stay here instead. You get what I'm saying? That's something that I think a lot of people can take home, is that if you're doing something that's good and it's working, study why it's working, and then double down and focus on that particular style or that particular topic and just recreate different versions of it.
I saw something, that's fair. I actually saw something very similar the other day, and somebody says, when you're doing online content, no matter what it may be, a lot of people want to like change up randomly, but like not change very, very like small. They want to do big drastic change and goes from, say, traveling to being a business mentor or something like this, a very drastic change. And I saw someone say something like, if you was working any other job in the world, like if you have a business like Costa, for example, you sell coffees, Costa can't just turn around and then say they want to sell like gaming setups because they've built it on like coffee. If you've built something in like the travel, you can't just turn around and go, no, I don't want to do travel. I want to do something completely different. You can try and transition it a little bit, but you can't just go from one thing to another. You've built something up that's kind of your thing. And I
see a lot of people that go viral and build such a large following struggle with that because they want to make a certain style of content, but they also don't want to forget the content that has built their audience essentially. And there's a couple of people that I follow that come to mind with that, and they're in this battle, bro. Do you feel like you're in that battle as well at the moment?
I'm not, thankfully. I've actually managed to avoid getting out of it. As I said, I've got one thing that works very, very well for me. Like my street food content works so good. Like I pull millions of views just because anybody around the world can basically see what's like street food. You don't need to understand English to understand like the visuals of the street food being made, basically. So that works well. It always gets millions of views. But I didn't forget the other stuff I used to make. So I didn't forget the little edits. I didn't forget the like clips and whatever. So they still pull views alongside my street food stuff. So if I was to completely abandon YouTube, completely abandon all my other content and just only do street food, when I decide to go back to my other content, it would have been pretty bad. Luckily, because I've been doing both and they're both kind of in the same niche, traveling, it kind of works off well. A lot of people will follow for the street food stuff, but not pictures of me or pictures of what I'm doing. But luckily, a large percentage of my following do actually like the travel stuff I do. So I've been okay. But if I wanted to, switch up into, say, fitness stuff, it would have a complete tank because people follow mainly for street food and travel. If I then switch and started doing gym content, I might have however many followers I've got and get like no likes, no views, no comments.
That's how you started, didn't it?
I actually originally, when I was younger, started. So this is the whole transition period, like summed up really quick. I started doing gaming videos, and then I wanted, I mean everyone does.
Chelsea Gaming HD still on
YouTube, really.
If anyone wants a chuckle, man, Chelsea Gaming HD is actually still on YouTube. It's me doing like a FIFA Road to Glory, anyway.
Yeah, mine's still my same channel. That channel, I've got one channel that's got like 180k. The other one's got 23,000. But the one that's got 23,000 is like my baby because that's got old gaming videos on there. So I started gaming, and then I wanted to do travel, but I was young. I didn't have any money. I couldn't go traveling, so I was like, okay, whatever. Then I went back to gaming. And then I started doing other random videos, like just messing about and whatever. And then we know what happened in 2020. All of that stuff happened, lockdown, couldn't do anything. So I was like, right, I want to make travel content. I want to make like videos, but I can't do anything. What do I do? Well, I go to the gym every day. When the gym's open, let me just make gym content. So that was what I was doing. I couldn't travel. I couldn't afford to travel. So I'd make gym content. And then I, started liking the gym content, got really into the gym. And then the minute I could travel again, I started to do the travel content. And obviously it was a long road. It took me from 2022, I was going on trips every month, posting like the Insta pictures, trying to make little reels. And it was only in early 2024 when I started posting videos on TikTok that I started to get a little bit of traction. And it was just simple videos, say me in Australia walking, being like with an English accent, obviously in Australia, going like, Australia's so much better than the UK. It's sunny right now. It's so-and-so, like whatever. And a lot of people from the UK would watch them and go, oh man, Australia is pretty cool. A lot of the Australians would be like, yeah, our country's really, really good. And it started to build up a little bit of a following. And then I took a leap and went to Bali again in 2024, April time. Got severely ill, got dengue fever, went back to the UK, reset, and then, the minute I went off again, it was just like, it's been non-stop since there, basically.
So when you came back from the UK, that's when I met you, isn't it? When you came from the UK to...
so I actually met you just after I'd done all my Brazil stuff. Yeah. So I went back to the UK in April 2024. I was back for just under 2 months. I went back to my old work. Obviously, I was doing photography, videography, but instead of having to try and find clients and whatever, I actually went back to them and was just like, I want to come back again, do my old videography, photography. And I remember saying to my manager, who's actually my best mate, I don't know if I can stay here. Like deep down in my heart, I know I can do a social media thing. Like I feel like I'm wasting potential if I'm here. Like I know I've just come back and you've just helped me get this job back, but I feel like I've got to go. I've got to do it again. I mean, I had a lucky opportunity with something, and I had the reason basically to go out there and travel again. And then, I basically used all the money I had and saved up and whatever to travel. And then I started to go low on money. I was like, right, do I go back to the UK and I can't ask my job back again? Do I go to Australia and, do the whole working holiday visa again? Or do I go out to Bali? Something in my heart was telling me go to Bali. Bear in mind, my last trip to Bali, I had Bali belly 5 times. I had dengue fever, which was absolutely terrible. I lost 15, 20 kilos in like a month. I was like so sick. And I was just scared to go back. But I was like, something deep down in my heart was telling me, go back. And I went back. I was trying to build my website, was building up my photography, videography and whatever. And then I had a couple videos. Bear in mind, I've got no social media presence at this point, other than the odd TikTok, which had like 20K. My videos actually started to perform. And I had one photo post, which you might remember, saying, hey, bro. It was a picture of like a little slideshow of the pictures I took in those last...
Storytelling carousel as well.
Yeah, storytelling carousel. That's the one. Yeah. And it was, that. And it was like a 7-slide thing. And it was like, hey, bro, want to go? Go where? Anywhere. And bear in mind, I had like 2,000 followers at this point. The post got, on a photo post, 275K likes. On a photo post of someone who has like 2,000 followers.
They're underrated, most of my viral content has been photo carousels.
Yeah, because the algorithm changed and no one really knew, and it just started to pop off. And at that same time, I also, as a joke from my previous 2 trips to Bali, I done a video.
Oh, I remember this series.
Saying day one of trying not to get sick of Bali. Yeah, and that first ever video got like 7.7 million views. And to someone who's never had a viral video before, I was like, 7.7 million views, wow. And then the next one I did had like 400K. Then every single video was like 20 to 30K no matter what. You get the odd one that gets 1 million. And I started to build a following doing that. And I ended up leaving Bali and I arrived in August, left in end of November with like 20K followers. And then went back for Christmas, done some more work, a bit more photography and whatever, saved up money to come back out this year in January. And I was like, right, I've now got 30K on TikTok. I've got 20K on Instagram. I'm just going to hit it. And I've actually got another funny story, or like success story, whatever you want to call it, that happened after that, which was basically, as I said, I had the momentum now, whereas I've got 20K followers, I've got whatever, and I was like, right, TikTok isn't paying me. I'm not making any money from TikTok, so I'm going to try and get monetized on YouTube. YouTube seems to be like the safer option. That's what I'm going to do. And the whole of January, the whole half of February, I was just doing YouTube and like trying to just do this YouTube basically. I got monetized. Had another viral video, got like 33 million views of like
33 million.
Yeah, I've had quite
a short or
on a short.
Fuck, bro.
I've had quite a few.
What is
actually. That was my first one that ever got like 30 million plus. That was POV. You're a man in Thailand, and it was me walking down a strip in Pattaya. just getting grabbed up basically. Like all these girls are jumping on me and grabbing me, and my friends film with like a little GoPro, and I'm doing 360s around them, and it was a funny video. And yeah, it got like 33 million views, and I actually plugged my YouTube video to that. And that YouTube video, I obviously had no subscribers on there, but that YouTube video it got taken down the first time, so I had to panic and re-edit it and blur out certain bits, and so I lost a lot of momentum. But
I remember that.
I ended up getting like 70k views on an account that didn't have any following, but that was enough to get me monetized on YouTube. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm running down out of money now. I've got like £1,500 left, but at least I'm monetized on YouTube. And then, I had the idea that I wanted to go to India, basically. And my whole idea with India was never to do TikTok, never to do Instagram. It was to do YouTube videos. Now, I didn't want to get sick because I knew there's like malaria there's like a bunch of diseases, like all of this stuff. And I was like, right, I'm literally going to go to India for like 5 days, try and film 2 videos, like YouTube videos every day, come back to Thailand and just edit them. And I asked my friend if he wanted to come with me, and he goes, oh, no, I don't want to go to India. Okay, whatever. I was on the visa immigration website and was just trying to like apply for the visa, and he calls me and he goes, I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to go to India. He goes, if we're going to go to India, I want to do it properly. I don't just want to go to Delhi. I want to go to like a few places. And I was like, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to die. I don't have malaria jabs. I don't have any of this. Like, you know what? We'll do this. All right. If you're going to come with me, I'm willing to do this India thing. And a few days before we went, we saw a couple of other people doing these street food videos that I said. And we was like, we can do this better. And we studied a little bit, which I would like advise everyone to do if you're going to do social media. Study people who have success, find out what they do. And that's your little key right there. And we did this and basically went to India, and the videos that we studied, the street food videos, instantly millions of views. Like I think the first 3 or 4 videos I posted was like one got like 18 million, the next was like 6 million, the next was like 4 million. I was like, wow, this is working. Paid on TikTok as well, and I obviously wasn't making any money on TikTok before. And the YouTube videos, obviously that's what I went out there for, but I was doing them daily, but they weren't performing. And if I didn't make any money from TikTok, I would have had to go home again. So luckily them street food videos actually saved me, and I filmed quite a lot of them, and then obviously built my account up on TikTok to the point where I can go anywhere. I can go like Mexico now, Thailand, film the street food and get views and, you know, make a living through doing that.
How much do you reckon you make through TikTok a month?
It's a decent amount.
Yeah.
It's a decent amount. It's not as much as, it's hard to say, because if you work out the pay from a UK creator, the RPM is around 50p. They've changed it now slightly, so the RPM is lower.
What's RPM?
RPM is revenue per milli or whatever it is. So
million?
It is milli. That's the actual like definition, but it's per thousand. Okay. For whatever reason. So yeah, the every 1,000 views you get, it used to be about 50p. Okay, so if you get 1 million views, you get £500. But the way that TikTok works, you have qualified viewers and non-qualified viewer. What defines a qualified viewer is someone who watches the video for longer than 5 seconds, isn't on the friends or following page, it's on the For You page as a, on the For You page, it has to watch 5 seconds of video. That then counts as a qualified view. So on average, 50% of people won't watch 5 seconds, or they will be on the following or whatever. So if you get 1 million views, on average, you'd probably get about £250, £300. It can vary, but it would be...
One video is mad.
From one video, yeah.
That's your flight ticket, bro.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it could be pretty good. And people see my views. As I said, like if you go on my most viewed videos, it's like 41 million, 33 million, 32 million, 27 million, like all these multiple. As I said, I've had 1 billion views this year. 1 billion views. That's a lot of views from February until October. 1 billion. It's a lot. So
February to October.
Yeah.
February to October.
Yeah, February 16th.
March, April, May, June, July, October. 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months.
1 billion views
1 billion
in 7
views.
months.
Yeah, across all platforms. But
Fuck.
TikTok alone is 424 million.
What?
Yeah.
424 million?
On TikTok alone.
Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, there's other people doing street food stuff.
7 months.
Yeah, who have got billions on TikTok alone. So because street food is so globally known, like it's a cool thing. But yeah, people would obviously see them and think like, yeah, you're getting the highest RPM, but because the views are all around the world, like a lot of them in India, like Bangladesh, Pakistan, whoever, it's so spread out. So the RPM is very, very, very low, to the point where if you get 1 million views, it can vary. You might get £5, you might get £20 on 1 million views. And 1 million views to the average person is, you know, a lot of views. It's not like, for me to post any other piece of content and get 1 million views is, you know, it was pretty good. I'd be like, okay, cool, 1 million views. But yeah,
there's no consistency with TikTok though, is it? The algorithm works in a slightly
no,
different way.
it does work in a different way. And I think Instagram's starting to change that now as well.
I feel that Instagram is starting to change that.
Yeah.
Like less of your content is actually being pushed out to your followers.
And
more of it's actually just generally adopting that TikTok style where you go viral a lot more, you get more views from non-followers than you do followers. And it's like, for me, the process now is like, how do I convert these non-followers? And my process is obviously to funnel them through a lead generation process and email marketing and data capture. You know, what's your kind of process in terms of funneling people from views to something substantial?
I don't actually sell anything. The only thing I'd funnel people maybe would be my YouTube channel if they want to. But I feel like my TikTok is kind of separate from both my Instagram and my YouTube. My YouTube is, and my Instagram are kind of linked because I clip up my YouTube and then post them to my Instagram alongside like all the other videos I do. TikTok, I don't really post anything on there other than like food videos, or if I do like maybe hotel collaborations or like any other things, just anything in that sort of niche is kind of to TikTok. So maybe I should funnel it. At the moment, I'm not really. I kind of want to organically grow the YouTube, to be honest with you, because if I, like we were saying earlier with the audience demographic, if I flood my YouTube with views from all around the world, it's going to be very inconsistent. When I post a video about one country and the first people to see it aren't from that country, nobody cares, the video doesn't get pushed. So I'd rather, leave the YouTube to be organically growing, and same with the Instagram, I guess.
You touched upon studying. Yeah. What do you study when you are looking at content? So let's say you're doing your market research, right? What are you studying? How are you looking at and dissecting content?
There's a lot of things that I study. I'm actually not going to go into too much depth.
Because it's your process and your style. But
it's not even that. I'm actually, because I was having this conversation with my friend the other day, the amount that I have learned over the past 4 years, but specifically this year, and everything I know, is actually pretty valuable. And what you say about, selling something. I'm actually been thinking, me and my friend have both been thinking that it might be beneficial to actually help people. So I don't want to give away, too much free game, because I might be in the process of making something which I haven't done before, but I want something to be actually valuable and worthwhile. I don't want to just like, I'm not setting out. I don't want to do like whatever, but I don't want to give away all of his years of information for no benefit, whatever. So the thing that I'm going to create is going to help a lot of people who want to get into the social media stuff, and specifically people who want to do this travel stuff, because that's what I've done. That's what I've known. That's what I've spent the last years and years and years, like trying to build up. And now that I finally figured out the secret, if you want to say, then, I'm planning to share some information. But in terms of studying, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just need to look at people that you idolize or that you want to be like, and look at their most viewed videos and look at the psychology behind it. Okay. Look at a video that's gone viral, but look at why has it gone viral. Read the comments. Are people arguing in the comments? Are people debating something? Are they all positive? Do people just really love this person? Most of the times not. If you see any video that's got 20, 30, 40 million views, very, very, very rarely, if at all, it's going to be 100% positive comments. It's most likely going to be 20, 30% positive, and the rest would be a debate or something about something. It might be, it could be anything. But a lot of the viral videos have a lot of negativity towards them, because negative stuff, well, people love it. It does well, yeah. Because
the reality is, mate, a lot of people that are consuming our content are sad and at home, depressed, using social media as a form of escapism.
What do you feel about social media being like escapism? Would you say you're addicted to your phone?
No.
You're not?
No.
Was you
I
once?
used to be.
Yeah. So you've
That's
broken
why
out
I
of
had
it.
a social media manager.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm not a content creator by trade, right?
Yeah.
I'm an online coach who has developed very good skills to create content, right? So for me, it's very much a part of my process. So I call it the 12 steps to success of online coaching. Steps 1 to 5 are very much solely focused on creating content. So targeting your niche, planning, scripting content, executing content, editing content, and scheduling content, right? That is fundamental to my lead generation process. That's fundamental to getting my message out there. So I understand the role that it plays within my business, but I'm a fucking coach, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So I have delegated editing, scripting, planning, scheduling, and posting of content to other people within my business. So that allows me to be a coach. However, I never neglect content creation. Like, content creation is something I think about daily, right? Probably nowhere near to the level that you do, because you actually make money from it, right? But it's such a key part of my process. So I've been doing it now for 6 years, full on, like trying to create content to build a business. You go through so many peaks and troughs of, like, some days you love it, some days you hate it, some days you're on fire, some days you want to be in there talking to people all the time. But then you realize, okay, well, what role does social media play in my life? For me, it's very much transactional. I make content to produce an outcome, to deliver my message, which will then give people an opportunity to be impacted by my coaching. That's the role it plays for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to be so invested and so immersed in social media, because that is the role that it has within my business. And it's purely a vehicle for me to provide my message and have impact, right? It's the step. I had a conversation with a mentee today before I came on here. It's the first step of you vocalizing your message, right? Social media, content creation is the first step that you need to do in order for people to start listening to you. And then you can funnel, then you can make emails, then you can actually provide a really good service. But if people don't listen to the first phase and they don't actually care about what you're saying and care about the information that you're giving and your message, step 12 is irrelevant. Step 12 is completely irrelevant. You will not be in the position to deliver your service if your message doesn't penetrate, right? That's how I look at it. Now, you obviously look at it more from what I presume is more like a strategic views, engagement, overall sort of analytics.
Mine's a lot of inspiration. And this is actually a thing that I've been thinking about recently. And I actually started to go into more study, but like a psychological study. I started to learn a little bit more about like neuroplasticity in the brain, gray matter, all of these things, because the issue with social media that I'm doing and creating is you run out of ideas and you need to find other inspiration. As I said, I saw Brazil videos. I looked through a Brazil video. I need to know to go. But with that, you start to train your brain to just love scrolling and scrolling. And it actually, recently has had an actually bit of a negative impact on my life. And I didn't really realize it, but I think it's been forming over the past however many years of just scrolling. And I catch myself now for like an hour just doom scrolling social media, and you try and trick your brain to be like, oh, market research, oh, I'm looking at inspiration, oh, I'm looking at travel videos and whatever. No, you're just like triggering this dopamine because your brain is actually fried. And very recently, I didn't know why, I think it started to actually affect my real life connections, which is really scary, because I didn't want to go out and meet. Like the thought of going out to meet people and getting out of bed and going to do something was more hard of a task than sitting alone in my room just scrolling. And this is very, very recent. I realized this as well. And I thought, that's a problem. And after the age of 25, your brain starts to be like molded, and it's quite hard to undo these bad habits.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Exactly. And if you fry your brain from years of like swiping and scrolling and watching whatever, your attention span gets fried, your real life connection gets fried, because everything to do with your dopamine just becomes destroyed, because going for a walk in real life or doing anything in real life is slow. No matter how fast it is, it's slow compared to all the stimulation you're getting, this fast-paced, high BPM music, all of the swiping, boom, 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 constant, new thing. You can see like 10 different videos from 10 different people doing motorbikes or cliff jumping or gym or whatever in the space of like 10 seconds with music and whatever. In real life, the fastest thing you can do, drive a fast vehicle. You know, anything you're having, like where you're speaking, it's not stimulating enough. And you train your brain subconsciously without even realize to just need this quick dopamine, easy, stimulation. But in real life, it becomes boring. Yep. And speaking to people is boring. And you start to, you can start going into like depression and whatever, because your brain is just so messed up from scrolling and whatever. And if you're doing this social media stuff, no matter what it may be, you're always on your phone, you're always swiping, you're looking for inspiration. It's very easy to not even realize you're getting, just stuck in this brain rot cycle, because that's what it is. Your brain is literally rotting away. And the older you get, the harder it is to reverse it. So I've been actually trying to not go on my phone as much now and start appreciating things in real life, because I also started to lose appreciation for life, which is crazy. Like,
but that's
I don't
where
mean
you start to go down the depression path.
Yeah. I don't even mean that in like a depressed way or whatever. Like, I'm very thankful for everything, but like to a lot of people, I'm living their dream life. Like, I don't really work. I make social media videos, right? Sure, it's hard work and like doing the editing and figuring ideas, like, and you're constantly doing stuff. Sure, it's work, but it's not really work. Like, you're doing your own thing. I can travel to any country that I want. I can kind of live wherever I want. You've got no boss. You've got no worries. You're making money. Like, everything's good, but you start to not appreciate it. It's like, oh, I don't really like this country. Oh, I haven't really got any like friends in this place. Oh, I miss this place. Oh, I miss this place. Because you're so like stimmed up from seeing all of this fast paced thing that you don't just take a step back and go, I'm living in Bali. Everything's good. You have money. You have an income. You've got friends who live here. You've got a motorbike. You've got nice restaurants. And you're thinking of the next thing. Like, oh, I want to be where the fast cars are. I want to be where this person is. Or you see someone on social media. Oh, this place looks cool. I wish I was here. It's like you were waiting years and years and years to be able to work online and live wherever you want. And now you've got this, but you're not happy. You want to go somewhere else. And I started to actually see how people who are like millionaires and billionaires and whatever start to end up doing drugs or doing like crazy things because, you know, when you haven't got anything, you think if I had a Lamborghini, if I had all these millions, I'd be so happy. And it's like, nah, it's not even really about that. If you have that and you've got the mindset where you're appreciative of life, it's much better to be very, very rich but appreciate life than it is to be broke and appreciate life. I'll give that. But you need that mindset in the first place. If you get to the riches without having the mindset and the appreciation for the little things, it's going to wreck you. And it will wreck you more than somebody who isn't hungry. Because right now, if I wanted to get out of this like bad cycle, I'm not in a bad cycle, but if I was in a bad cycle and I wanted to get out of it, I would just go, right, have these goals, grind. I'm going to make it. You're just stimming yourself with motivation. If you haven't got any goals anymore because you've achieved everything, well, then what? If you haven't learned the appreciation for life and appreciation for little things, you're in trouble.
I think that what you just said there, a very easy solution is keeping things simple, which is easier said than done. But like for me, bro, I've got my villa, I've got my missus, I've got my dog, I've got my clients. Monty Moo.
The boy.
Yeah.
You have to insert like a picture of him.
Like, bro, my life is so simple, yet I've never felt so fulfilled. I wake up every day like, okay, who can I impact? What conversation can I have with people today that is going to allow them to change course, develop their journey? That's all I care about, bro.
But you also have a goal and you also have direction in your life. A lot of people who feel quote unquote depressed or like whatever, they don't have purpose in life. I felt down plenty of times. Don't get me wrong. I've been stressed and been whatever, but I've never been depressed because I've always deep down known in my life, I've got this, I want to do this. And even in my darkest times, which I'm never going to go into, but like I've had dark times in the past, I always deep down had this goal that one day I'm going to be big on social media. I'm going to do YouTube. I'm going to do this, like always. So I've always had something to like pull me out of the darkness. A lot of people who don't have any goals end up depressed. Or if you speak to anybody who's actually depressed, a lot of them don't have goals. And you say, what do you want in life? Oh, I don't know. I don't really have any goals. It's like, if you've got no direction, how do you know where you're going to go? And
what is your goal right now?
My goal is obviously to do the YouTube. That was always the goal. Like, I want to travel.
What do you want to do with the YouTube?
I want to travel the world and I want to make videos that I love making. I want that to be like my income, basically. Like, I want my life to be traveling the world, making amazing videos to just inspire everybody around the world. But not only to just inspire like people to travel and like live their goals and whatever, but to look back on. I've always said that even if I did YouTube, not as an income, just for the videos that I like, it'd be cool that when I've got a family, when I've got kids in the future, pull up one of my videos from whatever the year is now, like 2025, and like put it up in 2040 and be like, look, this was me when I was 24 years old, traveling the world, going to this place, doing this. So that's my thing, really. I think travel to me is very, very important. I wouldn't want to get to the end of my life and not have traveled to X amount of countries.
Amazing. Well, we're gonna wrap up with two very important questions, bro. So
let's do it.
The first question is,
let me put my thinking cap on right now.
I want you to blind rank these countries that you visited 1 to 10, but you can't know what's coming next.
Okay.
So
1 to 10.
1 to 10. You've got 10.
Okay.
10 countries. You're gonna blind.
Trying to remember the 10 with my brain is gonna be difficult.
I'm gonna tell you. The first one is Japan.
Japan.
Where are you rating that? 1 to 10.
Wow, what a place. Okay, Japan. I think Japan is gonna go 4.
Okay, so we've got 4.
Peru. Wow. I got really sick there, but that was such a special place. I think Peru. I think 3.
Wow. India.
Is 10 the lowest it goes?
10th is the lowest it goes. We're putting that bottom of the list.
Yeah. That's far at the bottom.
Brazil.
See, that is actually difficult because that's joint first with another country. Can I put a joint or not joint?
No.
I don't even know myself, but
so you've got 2 and 1 available in terms.
Honestly, I think Brazil's number 1. To be honest with you, but I've only been to Brazil once. My other country that I think is joint 1, I've been to like 7 times, so it's not the fair. But
Malaysia,
damn. It's a cool place, but it doesn't stand out to me. So I'd say 9.
9.
Sorry for anyone from Malaysia.
Poland.
I liked Poland. I thought Poland was cool.
I like Poland.
Yeah, I'm actually part Polish. Like
I'm German, so I like
Polish.
Feels like home.
Right.
You got.
I think
8,
Poland.
7,
yeah.
6.
I'd say it's 6 maybe. It's kind of low for Poland, but I think 6. It's 2. But that's joint 1. That's joint 1.
No. You got to put it second.
That's what I'm saying. No, but it's the second. Yeah. But I'm saying like, as my 2 favorites, I can't decide between Brazil and Thailand. But I think Brazil I prefer, and then Thailand. It's like a second home. Oh, I've done 3 already.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
6th. You've got 5th and 8th available. You have to put it 5, bro.
What? I said 3rd. I haven't said 3rd.
Peru, you put 3rd, bro.
Wow. Okay.
I told you
So what have I got?
The next highest
No.
one is
What? 5th. Wow. I guess it's going 5th then.
Indonesia.
What's next? 8.
So we've got.
So we've got 7.
1, 2,
I've got 7 and
3,
8.
4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. So you got 7 and 8.
I'd say
Indonesia.
I'd say 7, but I think that's pretty fair.
7th.
Yeah, I like Indonesia, but it's.
And then the last one is Australia. So Australia goes 8th.
Yeah, that's okay. That list is okay.
You happy with that? So we got Brazil first.
Pakistan would be higher.
Brazil first, Thailand second, Peru third, Japan fourth, Pakistan 5th, Poland 6th, Indonesia 7th, Australia 8th, Malaysia 9th, Pakistan, India 10th.
You know what? That list is nearly spot on if Japan and Pakistan were swapped. I was close.
Pakistan.
Yeah, that's very close.
You're only putting Pakistan up to 4th.
Yeah. It went down after my last trip there. It was like joint favorite for ages, but my last trip there, just a bunch of things I weren't really too keen on.
Yeah. One last question then, bro. To wrap up the podcast, what is your death row meal? Start a main dessert.
Death row meal.
Yeah, I ask every guest on that comes on. Start a main dessert and drink.
Death row meal has to be something of the Mexican cuisine.
Oh, I like Mexican.
I love Mexican.
I love a burrito me.
I think it has to be Tex-Mex burrito.
So start a burrito, yeah?
We're going to start off with traditional Mexican tacos.
Oh, so you're going full send, Mexican.
I'm going full send. Yeah, I'm going starter tacos. I want barbacoa beef tacos with some lime on the top.
You had them at Mexicola here?
No, but I didn't like them. Bro. They were okay, but they weren't as good as like Lola's.
I did another view. I did try the viral food place video in Bar.
Yeah,
that was first on the list. Mexico.
Better than Lola's?
No.
Yeah, Lola's is the goat. Lola's is the goat.
But it's not viral, so
that's true. We need to make it viral. I'll go up to it. What is this man said then? I'll make that place viral. Yeah. I love Lola's. Anyway, barbacoa beef tacos, the starter with a little starter margarita, maybe a non-alcoholic one. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. Little mocktail, yeah. And then main course is gonna be burrito. I think burrito, but I want a burrito with a side of organic grass-fed beef. Just fair, like nothing extra
like
on
steak,
it.
Yeah?
Just so like a steak, yeah.
Nice.
Like real,
you can do what you want. It's
regeneratively raised, organic, clean, healthy cow, like the most healthiest longevity
like the ones
cow.
Here.
No,
they're sacred here, bro. They live for a long time.
They're sacred, but they're not looked after. Oh, okay, I want like New Zealand style beef. Yeah, okay. Like love this whole life.
Dessert?
Tiramisu.
Yeah, I like that one.
I love tiramisu.
That's a good one.
Tiramisu.
Do you know what? Good. The previous guest, Josh, he had a banging death row meal, but yours is coming close. So what you'd have as a drink? You're gonna go margarita?
I'd go margarita. I think maybe Can I do bottomless margaritas?
Yeah, of course, mate. They're for a meal. If you're gonna go,
Can I pair up with dessert? I want to. Yeah, if I'm dying.
You're gonna be pissed, bro. You're gonna you dying anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, true. Or do you just go out on your shit or just fast?
No, fuck it.
Like a G.
Fuck it, bro. I like that.
I think that's solid.
Burrito, tiramisu, margarita.
Bit of steak on the side, bit of organic grass-fed beef and steak.
Burrito is that's good. I like.
Yeah. But I don't want it in the burrito. I want it on the side. It has to be on the side. Yeah.
Listen, bro. Thank you very much for coming on. Where can people find you? Because you've got YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Is it just Jude Rusga?
Jude Rusga. Yeah. Jude Rusga on everything. I have Jude Rusga too as like second channels, but Jude Rusga is, that's where you can find me on every platform.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. And
thanks for having me.
That's been another episode of the Physique Podcast. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Thank you.